Most people experience a gap between who they are and who they aspire to be. There are small tasks they feel they should complete and significant goals they want to accomplish. Whether it's exercising regularly, eating better, learning a new language, writing a book, reading more, or actually engaging in a hobby instead of endlessly scrolling online. However, reaching these goals often seems to require becoming a different person, someone who is consistent, disciplined, and highly motivated. You may have tried to adopt these traits before, and for a while it worked. But eventually, old habits crept back in, making you feel like you failed once again. With each failed attempt, frustration builds. According to the hustle and success culture online, failure is entirely your fault. If you didn't achieve your goal, it simply means you didn't want enough. But in reality, change is difficult, and understanding why can make things easier. The jungle of your mind. Think of your brain as a dense jungle. Every time you make a decision, it's like trying to navigate through thick vegetation. It takes effort, and your brain dislikes wasting energy. To cope, it creates paths based on repeated actions. When you start doing something new, you carve a rough trail through this jungle. The more you repeat the action, the clearer the trail becomes until it turns into a well-trodden path, then a road, and eventually a highway. Once these mental highways are built, they make behaviors feel automatic and comfortable. This is why change becomes harder over time, especially for adults who already have countless mental highways formed by years of habits. To understand how these highways develop, it's important to distinguish between routines and habits. Routines and habits. A routine is a series of actions repeated in the same way because they have worked well in the past. For example, buying the same ingredients for a favorite dish or setting an alarm at the same time every night. Imagine a wise planner in your mind. This part of you makes logical decisions, thinks about the future, and carefully selects actions for desired outcomes, even if they're uncomfortable. Over time, routines can evolve into habits, which are automatic and require little thought. Your brain considers them rewarding and instinctively repeats them. Unlike routines, habits are triggered by specific cues, certain objects, times, places, or situations that signal your brain to initiate an action. For instance, seeing your phone might trigger the habit of unlocking the screen. Sitting in a car might make you reach for the seatbelt automatically. Or getting coffee every morning may come with an automatic cookie purchase, even when you're not hungry. Habits are governed by a more impulsive part of your brain, like a child that seeks immediate gratification without thinking about long-term consequences. This is why bad habits like eating junk food or scrolling endlessly online are so hard to break. They provide instant pleasure, reinforcing the behavior. But this system isn't entirely bad. The wise planner and impulsive child actually work together. The planner handles complex tasks, while the child automates repetitive actions, conserving mental energy. This means if you want to change a habit, you can use this built-in system to your advantage. Building new habits. The key to changing behavior isn't sheer willpower, but making the process feel effortless. Instead of forcing yourself into big changes, start small. Small improvements over time can lead to massive progress. For example, if you want to exercise more, break it down into simple, specific actions. Instead of saying, I want to get fit, set a concrete, manageable goal, like doing 10 squats every morning. Establish a trigger, a consistent cue that signals your brain to take action. This could be wearing workout clothes, a specific time of day, or a designated location. Always perform the habit in the same context to reinforce the connection. By repeating this process daily, your routine will eventually transform into a habit. The physical effort of the task remains, but the decision to do it becomes effortless. However, forming habits isn't always easy because many don't provide immediate rewards. To increase consistency, make the action itself enjoyable. Listen to a favorite podcast while exercising or work on taxes while waiting for something to load. It takes anywhere from 15 to 250 days for a habit to become automatic. The beginning is usually easy, but maintaining consistency is the real challenge. However, the more you persist, the easier it becomes. There are no shortcuts to lasting change, but the science of habits shows that it is always possible, regardless of age. Even small improvements are a step in the right direction. Change isn't a final destination, it's a continuous process.